Good evening. Today is the 17th of July 2014. I'm speaking to everyone, every decision maker in this world, and especially I'm speaking to the American Congressman. I'm speaking to you, Mr. American Congressman. So please listen very well to what I will say. Okay. I'm a Palestinian from the occupied Jerusalem of Palestine, the capital of Palestine, the occupied capital of Palestine. You want to call it Israel? You want to call it the capital of Israel? Okay. I know very well, and you know very well. You, the congressman, and the Western decision maker, the European decision maker, you know very well that it's not a Jewish city. It's not an Israeli city. Okay, let's talk. I know and you know, but let's talk. Jerusalem, in history, if you want to talk about history, and if you want to say that Israel has a historic right in Jerusalem and in Palestine, let's be clear, please. Jerusalem was an Arab Canaanite Palestinian city since 5,000 years ago. So, there was no Israel that time. There was no Jewish people that time. So, 3,000 years ago, there was Israel. There was King David. Okay. He was just an invader. He invaded Jerusalem for a very short time from the history, great history of Jerusalem and great history of Palestine. And remember, please, remember very well that this King David, who you call him a king, he was a mercenary to a Palestinian king. Remember this very well, please. And he was an invader. Israel was an invader, and Israel is still an invader. The invader will always be just a bad visitor, a temporary visitor, and sooner or later the visitor will get out, will leave, will never stay forever. Jerusalem, the occupied Jerusalem, and Palestine are an Arab Canaanite land since 5,000 years ago. Remember this, please. One thing else I would like to remind you about it, that the greatest Israeli Jewish archaeologists who work in the greatest Israeli universities, even in the university, in Hebrew University in Jerusalem, they recognize the fact and they admitted that Israel has no historic right in Jerusalem because they couldn't find even any little evidence to prove this lie and this propaganda. So, stop pretending, please. Stop lying. Stop it. Stop your lies. One thing else, Mr. American Congressman, Mr. European decision maker and Western decision maker, and every decision maker who supports Israel, listen very well to me, please. Just be yourself. If you decide to be yourself, then you will be a real human being. Please, don't put your humanity for sale for the sake of the Jewish money. Please, don't put your dignity for sale for the sake of the Jewish money and Jewish wealth. Please, don't put your political position for sale for the sake of the Jewish money. Don't put your people for sale for the sake of the Jewish money and for the sake of your greedy nature. Stop it, please. Stop manipulating your dignity and your humanity. Stop put yourself down for the sake of the Jewish money. Stop manipulating the terms of justice, human being, freedom, democracy, human rights. Stop your cheap games, please. We all know that the United States invaded Iraq. This President of United States of America, George W. Bush, he was a terrorist with Dick Cheney. They invaded Iraq to steal its oil. Every one of us know this fact. They had oil companies. It was a business for them. They killed millions of Arab Iraqi people and children, tortured them, and made them live as refugees everywhere because of their greedy nature, because they wanted to steal the Iraqi oil, and just they wanted to justify their crimes by silly justifications. Now, this Cheney, the same one, the same criminal, the same terrorist, he is allying with the terrorist Israeli occupation to steal the gas of Syria, of Palestine, and of Lebanon, which is discovered recently in the Mediterranean. And this is why Israel is fighting Syria by the hands of such terrorists and mercenaries who are called Daesh and Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda was created by the United States and by Israel for later goals and wars, to justify their wars in the Arab countries, to manipulate their rights and to steal their wealth and to do all the kinds of crimes they want. Now Israel is killing Palestinian children in Gaza, as every time. They are killing Palestinians in Jerusalem and in the rest of Palestine. Israel wants to control everything. I'm telling you, American congressmen, especially listen. You are unfair people. You are cheating yourselves. You are cheating your people. You put your humanity down and you put your dignity down for the sake of money. You have a greedy nature. You are sacrificing the Palestinian children for money. But remember very well that your children and your kids can never be more important than any Palestinian child and than any drop of blood of a Palestinian child. Wake up. Wake up, please, and remember, Hitler was defeated. He was thinking that he was right, and he was a hero. He had the power, and he could do what he wanted to do, but the end was horrible to him. Don't play his role, please. Don't think you are right, and while the truth says you are very wrong. Please wake up and recognize the fact that Israel is much more dangerous than Hitler. And remember, please, that Hitler was much more merciful than this illegal terrorist Israeli occupation. Remember, please, that there was nothing called Israel. Remember that Britain donated Palestine to Israel as if we are not existed as Palestinian people. No, we are here and we will be here. We have been here since 5,000 years ago and we will stay here forever. The invaders came and left every time, and sooner or later they will leave because they are just thieves. They don't own the land. They have no history in this land. They have no dignity. If they have a dignity, they wouldn't do what they are doing now in Palestine, in Jerusalem and in Gaza, by killing the innocent children just because they have the power, the military power. And they know very well that we are, as Palestinians, don't have such power to fight them and to kick them out of our land. So please, Mr. American Congressman and Mr. Decision Maker, remember that your humanity and your dignity is much more important than Israel and than everything. Don't put yourself down and don't put your dignity down. Don't put your humanity down. Please. Long live Palestine. Long live Jerusalem, the capital of Palestine. Sooner or later, this terrorist Israeli occupation will be in, the same as the terror of Hitler was ended. Thank you.